Woza. After Football Fridays, proudly brought to you by Soccerbeat, powered by myself, Umjaka. Always here with Cheezboy Mokoena to preview the weekend, let you know what's coming up, talk about the biggest stories trending right now. Bafana Bafana selection, cheese. Some big names called up for the first time. Moremi, Khoza. I want to hear your thoughts. Mbule, back again. Let the people know, cheese, what your thoughts are on Bule being back again in the squad. But no Tito. No Tito. I know you have a lot to say there, Cheesy. Bruce, not sure about Kaizer Chiefs players still are not impressed. You let me know what you think. Maybe also let us know who you think in the Chiefs squad deserves to be in the Bafana squad. Um, yeah, cheese. Orlando Pirates coach Wadu, what a start. You've been there every step of the way. Peter Dutoit um, on our platform said, first of all, we started with Pirates have got the best squad in this in the league. Now, Pirates have got the best technical team in the league. You let us know what your thoughts are, and of course, Cheesy's predictions are also in there. The Untold story, proudly powered by Absa. Cheesy has got us in stitches. He's got another surprise for you. I hope you are ready, Mzansi. Cheesy, but what they've got to do, we need them to get to 100K.
Wafethu, asibonge, let's first of all thank those that have subscribed. Big up to you, much more love, and I know you guys share the videos and we see your comments, we reply where we can. And for those that have not, Kalan Valina, my laptop is cut manje sukuti kube all ne-absa ishuthi manje-ke isokabhidi kunika yonke into mtshaka, so they must just like and subscribe njama subscribe. And once again, welcome to EPSA Football Fridays. This is where we let you know what is keeping for the weekend.
I hope you're ready. Untold Story Cheese has got a special one for you guys. Stick around for that one. Moremi, Malibongwe Khoza in this Bafana squad, Cheesy. Wow. Hugo Broos is brave, Jayam. Hugo Broos is brave.
Mchara, with that being said, Mchara, it's something that we spoke about on Soccerbeat, that the coach has got a radar of players. He's got a pool of players that he's got, and he's just waiting for the players to raise their hands, and it's a typical example. Look at it, Moremi's performance for the past few games he started and played for Orlando Pirates, scoring goals, great movement. And I think also we're lacking a left-footed player. That could be also ideal, that we're lacking a left-footed player, especially, we have an Apollos playing on the left in the national team, cutting inside, a Rele cutting inside. So we really don't have a full-on left winger that could, take the players on from the outside and cross the ball if you don't need your fullback to come up. So maybe that decision came about that and his performance as well. But I'm really happy for Khoza. The young man, I think he deserves it, man. I think, one for the future. Already when I saw his name, I'm thinking, what's South Africa gonna be with Khoza and Mbogazi in that center back position, Joe? I think
and there's Ocon in the Bundesliga.
You understand?
Center back.
Joe. And Emzali, we still have a Sesani that was almost there. Unfortunately, Watolama Inja. So I'm looking at that back four center backs, and I'm like, as in a South Africa coach is gonna be spoiled for choice and a headache for himself, But coming back to Khoza, I think the boy has proven, and even Coach Mangoba at that time spoke about it when he gave him the chance and said, this one is for the future. I saw him on his first game that it's just a matter of time once he breaks into that Sundowns starting lineup, and that's gonna make him really make it into the national team, And yeah, man, what a proud moment for him, And I just hope he can grab this opportunity with both hands, because I feel like as South Africans, we really love to see our youngsters excel, And if I can see Khoza Nombogazi out here, I just would love to see one game.
Zanzi, stick around. Untold Story coming up right after this comment on Bule in the squad. But Tito out, Cheesy.
A tough one, Mchara. I think as footballers, we know our standards. We know where we are in terms of contribution, and I'm sure Tito can look at himself and be like, I really need to to pull up my socks a bit, work a little bit more harder, so that because I don't think it was a mistake when the national team coach called him into the Bafana setup. I think he knew what Tito can do and give to the national team, and he's got the qualities in Jara to help the national team. Because at one stage the country was weighing on about Tito being the replacement for Etienne Bazwane, as he's getting a little
Tembazwane.
bit older, and yes, he had two, three couple of good games, but obviously with his current form now, not really being a starter now at Orlando Pirates, we're seeing glimpses of him, not the Tito that we really know, but obviously as a player, you do go through that phase where there's a dip of form, and with that being said, it's an opportunity for the next player. You're looking at a Sipho Mbule now who's gradually worked himself back into the national team, you know, with his fitness level as well, getting up there. I think he had a brilliant game when we played Nigeria. I think that's one game where the coach is like, I can't afford to leave this guy behind. Influential for Orlando Pirates, even though sometimes he doesn't start, but when he comes in, you can tell the difference, and I think that's why coach has gone for Mbule than a Tito, But if I compare the two players, right now, Sipho Mbule is the player that's actually on good form, not yet 100%, but he's on good form. And if I look at a Tito, I'm looking at a player that's on maybe 50% of what he can do. So maybe this is a challenge for him as well to work a little bit more harder. Don't take this as a setback like it's over. It's not over. It's a matter of you when you get your chance at club level. Make sure you bang in the goals, your creativity, create the chances, because that's what Sip was doing. And I think that's why the coach has brought him back into the national team.
Before you get to the Untold story, which I know everybody's waiting for, Cheese, very quickly, very quickly, our fans are going to reply very quickly onto this, Cheese. You are talking, saying Tito going through this, not being picked, but he was supposed to be the next Tembazwane, which was, then an investment for South Africa. That's the path, right?
Yeah.
But here's Rele, also not in great form,
Ooh.
but is in the squad. So the fans are going to quickly say that, Cheese. I'm speaking for the fans here.
Look, Mchara, I think you are right in that, because it can only be fair that if players are not doing well or not on form, we all believe as fans that why are they getting the call up? But I think Coach Hugo Broos came in one of his statements, I think during the qualifiers, when he was asked why did he not play Rele in those two international games, and he came out and saying it's about protecting as well, protecting the boy. Mind you, Rele is only 20. He's very, very young. He can be easily distracted and go off the rails because of not fully getting the support. Yes, he might be called up, but also it's for him to gain more experience in Mchaka in terms of the Bafana setup, because he's one for the future, Mchaka. I mean, he's going to be our number 10. He's going to be our winger. He's going to be the player that creates a lot of things for us, And I think with him being called up, yes, there's always going to be talks. But like I told you, coach has always had his core of players and knows how to rotate them. So I'm thinking, obviously, he was not going to drop Tito and Rele at the same time. But looking at Rele's last two games, his performance, you can tell he's not yet at his sharpest, but there's glimpse and a bit of light. It's just a matter of confidence in him scoring the goals, because it's difficult for a player, Mchara. It's also for Tito. If you're not on the score sheet, not on the assist list as an attacking player, you get worried, so, and it affects your performance as well in terms of your confidence going to the next game. So with Rele being called up, I think it's the coach protecting the player in terms of looking ahead. I mean, Tito is a little bit older. I'm sure he can take it and understand. He can take it on the chin, understand. It's the same, Mchara. Kunama-player amanye angeke umchike nje. Uma you might lose that talent, So with Rele being there, it's not saying he's going to be the starter of the team, but obviously for him to gain that experience and also to learn around the group that he is with, Mchara. But I know it's a different opinion. Other fans, maybe from other clubs, would be like, yo, but we also have certain players that are off form. We believe they can be in the national team, of which I fully agree, Mchara. But at the end of the day, it's only going to be our opinions, but the decision, solely came from the head coach and his technical team. And he knows the reasons. These are just one of our reasons we think that, why Rele is in the squad. And for me personally, I think because He has had caps before and he has had played well for the national team. He's just going through a phase, but he's slowly picking up. But if you drop him now, he did not play the last 2 games. It might send a signal to him that maybe my days are over for the national team and we might lose the boy. So, yeah, our opinion.
Cheesy, when you were saying Rele is our number 10, I'm sure even you as a former player knew there are players that when you talk about them, I've got goosebumps when you're saying Rele is our number 10. And I'm sure Tito, as you said, Tito understands. He doesn't send goosebumps to everybody. He's not everybody's cup
Sure.
of tea, but Rele is everybody's cup of tea. So
Yeah.
it's a different ballgame. But yeah,
Sure.
it's our opinion, which gets me excited about the Untold story you're about to drop now. Yeah, Usiphatheleni, Cheesy. Here's Cheesy's Untold story,
Yeah.
proudly powered by ABSA, right here on Soccerbeat. Your story matters, Cheesy. Usiphatheleni ntoni? What's your
Yeah.
Untold story?
Here's the thing. I think when we spoke about now the situation of Rele, speaking of a situation of Tito, I'm a player, fan, guys. Players, you guys won't have the same standards at the team and also at the national team. You might call it favors, you might call it favorites, but yeah, this is how the story goes, Mchara, and it's almost close and related to that. Look, my days at Orlando Pirates, still being coached by Augusto Palacios because there was a lot that was happening at that time. So what happens,
Mm,
Mjara? Bunukshino clock before you start training, right? So you get
yeah,
there. Let's say the session is at 9 o'clock. Everybody must be there 8:30. 9 o'clock we start. You click there. They say, "Yeah, Kali officine that you arrived at this time. What?" So I know Joe is gonna fight me for this, but he was always the guy that was always late when we were doing the 11v11s, preparing for the game, you know. And there'd
yeah,
always be delays. There'd always be delays, like
yeah,
the warm up, who could extend the warm up. So the guys about Tapelo that play in his position, Tapelo Liao,
yeah.
Spuso Mazi, guys that play
They
in his
want
position, Perimutapa, they were like, no, but why are we not starting? If the guy is not here, we need to start because we also want to play and stuff. I live very Pube. Sipela Tso was called Ipube. So the lion had arrived, jam. So he comes in late, mcha. So Tso walks in. After to figure, we done warming up, stretch, meluto. And the guys are like, oh, now lo muntu simme. I'm no shale walk. People that know Tso, he's got his own walk, he's got so maka veluto, but Ipube si madoda. Ipube silifikile madoda. Singaqala ukujima ke manje. The session can start manje, but now I just have one question. Yiphi imbongo lezongigada la emuva? Mina mangiyale ebhokisini. Khona umele angigada ngazi Dina or wena or Konko or Hlezamufedi. Kumele imbongo le-one ezongigada. And the guys will be so upset to but Maratso. So Ucho is calling us donkeys. So you must work for you. But as in one day we're gonna just open this midfield up and say you must come, you must track back and mark also, man.
Hey, cheesy.
Yiphi le mbongo?
It's a bad. It's hey, you just brought out some memories there had to get us excited. Uh, we remember the days you used to prepare for Chiefs. Used to
Sure.
plan. Get excited. Maru Hugo Broos is saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, this Chiefs, ay 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 ay, hey, this Chiefs, hey, Pirates brings me
Eish.
something. Maru Chiefs is not bringing me anything." That's what he's saying. He's saying, "Aye, man, Chiefs is still not it."
Mchara, bangangilwisi for le, but I beg to differ. I won't support what he said. Basically, as a national team coach, I think maybe the way maybe it came out, it's just sending a wrong message to the Chiefs players that are trying and working really hard, and also Mchara. Chiefs has been playing really well, Joe. As a fan of football, I'm not biased. They've been playing really well, Mchara. It's just that if you look at even their last game in the league match against AmaZulu, they could have hammered AmaZulu 6-7. They just don't take their chances. They're missing penalties. So you have youngsters that want to be part. I mean, Mtutuzi was part of the camp the last time. He's out because I'm mentioning him because he's also one of those youngsters when you talk about Rele, that really you can see his work rate, Mchara. Just that it's the finer details that he needs to fix. And with coach saying that there's no player at Chiefs currently that's impressing him. for me, I'm looking at him Duduzi, as a youngster that can also be gradually introduced into the national team. Because Mjara, when you have players that have played in the under 17 national team, under 20, under 23. You want to see them grow into that next level. That's what other countries do, Brazil and what. They gradually introduce them into the senior team. So when it comes to the statement day Chiefs, Mchara, no, I think maybe he could have reserved himself and maybe said, I still need to see more from certain players at Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, Cele for number one. He's not been starting recently, but he's a gem. Mchara, I can tell you, if we have a Cele as well in that national team, he's something that he brings a different dimension. Imagine a Cele, a master chef, a Thabo Mokoena in that midfield. You know, I mean, I'm not. Imagine that three in that midfield, especially
Oof.
because there's home games that we are gonna need where we are gonna have most of possession, attack,
Yeah,
attack, attack,
yeah.
attack, and so you need that, and they have that South African flair that the fans love.
They're all
So
dynamic, and
yeah,
they're
with
all
that being said,
dynamic.
yes, Mchaga. So for me, I'd say there's still an opportunity. I'm sure the coach is aware as well that it's just a phase Chiefs is going through right now. But for me, badlala sharp, Ucho. I don't know. They can tell us in the comments. I know if you understand and love the game of football, if you're talking football, and let's not talk, I love this club. But I think they've been playing really well, Mchaga. They're just not scoring goals, and that's it.
We can put Dotley aside because I think Dotley is a rare case. He's a guy
Yeah,
when fit he gets called up. He's one of those guys.
yeah,
So Dotley we can put aside, right? But in the guys who are
sure.
active right now, you are saying Cele and Do, should be the guys we should be looking at. Should be the guys who are working hard right now.
Yeah, for me personally, because already emuva sesigcwele emuva, and la phambili singayimixa, we can always mix it up. I as an attacker, I knew that
Yeah.
things can always, they say never change your back four in the keeper,
Mm.
but going there, you can always rotate. You can always change play. Obas one game, Tabs are out, Tabs are in, Mbule in, Cele in. There's a lot you can do. You know, there's a Rele. Rele also needs to be pushed, so he's got a youngster like Mtuduzi next to him. They have that conversation. Hey, we're also gonna get our turn. It's motivating for the players. So I'd love to see that. And hopefully it happens in the near future, Mchaga. Where I see him do getting an opportunity as well. Cele getting an opportunity as well. Because for me, looking at that Chief squad, um, currently I don't think besides those two, I don't think there's any player that's actually raising the hands. And if you look at the squad mainly, you have maybe three or four foreign players that are starting or playing the game, and you have a Mayo that just got back, who's trying to get his feet, and asiyeke la kaMayo kancane. Ngiyazi, I know where you're going. Asiyeke le asiyeke. But he's still one of the strikers to look out for that can be really helpful for Sla.
Hey, the pressure is hard. Cheesy. Abantu mama goal for him to get into the national team. Kunzima, cheesy. It's tough, mama. You go Bruce.
That's what
Score,
happens.
mama.
That's what happens in Java when you want to raise your hand because the AFCON is around the corner. The World Cup is
Hey,
around the
mama.
corner. So anything engayibona nje Mjaga, ngiyayithatha nami ngiyayithatha. Zoxolisa after man. Sorry guys.
Cheesy, cheesy. We need people to go back to work. We don't have a lot of time. Coach Wadu, what
Okay.
a
All
start
right.
at Orlando Pirates. Hey, as Mamizu Cyborg already. He's already got a nickname. From plumber to cyborg. What a start.
Mchara, what a start by the coach. I think in one of our shows, Talking Pirates, officially Munib welcomed the cyborg and said, "Hey, welcome. You are no longer the DJ because it was here first. You were that famous DJ that we all know that won the Grammy. So if he wins the
Yeah.
Grammy, you won the MTN. So now you are our cyborg now." You are the robot that's gonna take Paris to places, and obviously credit should also go to his technical team, Mjara. Coach
Now,
Mandla behind the
Peter,
scenes.
Peter, Peter Dutoy said exactly, cheesy. Thank you for going there. Peter Dutoy said
It's
Pirates have got the best technical team in the PSL.
correct, Mchara. You don't want that story of of the coach now having to walk like Augusto Palacios, let to walk in like this, he carry the knife. No, nobody's carrying the knife. We are one family. They're eating on a platter. They sit there, coach. Okay, you can no coach. No, you don't have two drumsticks. Have one. So they share this thing, and that's why everybody's looking at the coach. And I'm sure even when the coach does his press conferences and stuff, he talks about these guys because those are the unsung heroes that sit behind the coach's decision and go against his decision sometime and say, no, we don't start Cheezboy today, coach. And it works out. And after the game, we celebrate the coach, not knowing there were changes made behind the scenes by the technical team. Coach, let's move into this and that. So big up to them, and I agree with Peter on that. I think he's gotten the support, immediately after that backlog of not getting good results. I think after that, I'm sure the family got together, because even when they celebrate Umjaka, the coach runs to the corner flag. I mean, which coach does that? The last time I saw it was Coach Rulani, Coach Pizzo. If I can mention those two, those ones would come to the corner flag and celebrate with the squad. So big ups to the Pirates technical team, man. You deserve it as well, man. They should also enjoy the fruits that are happening right now. I mean, 7 games, Mchara, no goals conceded. Something to be spoken
and
about.
and he's given almost every single player an opportunity to impress. Some have really, really taken the opportunities too.
Yeah, well, Mchara, that this is the thing about fans. It's always a case of, yeah, but why, if the team does not do well, why doesn't he rotate the squad? Why is he playing the same players? You understand? And now with him having this rotation of not rotating the whole team, but obviously giving a start to 2 or 3 players, and they come in and they do an excellent job, and the team still wins. So if that's working for the coach and for Orlando Pirates, then why should they change? Because at the same time, you're also trying to keep everybody in a good space. Everybody should feel like they are involved and part of the team and part of the success of the team. So even if they get 10, 15 minutes, you still feel part and appreciated. Those players that have not been on the bench, that have been given the chance to be on the bench and actually know how it feels, credit to the coach for that, Mchara. I mean, they say if it's not broken, don't fix it, my friend. So Pirate supporters should expect that.
To big weekend, Cheesy. Let's wrap it up. Let's give them in real time. Amakalin Cup predictions this weekend. Durban City, Polokwane City. Score prediction.
I'll give it to Durban City. Durban City 1-0.
Pirates Siwelele.
Amapagania 2-0.
Ovid College TS Galaxy.
TS Galaxy 3-1.
Arrows Sikukune.
Skukuni, I'll give it to Skukuni 2-1.
Sundowns Gallants. Hey,
that one is tough. Hey, labo mabahlangana boy-2. But I'll give it to Sundowns. I'll give it to Sundowns 2-1. 2-1 Mjaga to Sundowns.
Chiefs Stellenbosch.
Sundowns na utiakora nayo.
Chiefs Stellenbosch.
But Chiefs beat Stellenbosch, so Chiefs is gonna win this one. Chiefs is bouncing back against Stellenbosch. Sorry, Coach Parker, but I give it to Chiefs this one 2-1.
Richards Bay Chippa United.
Chippa United. I'll give it to Chippa United 2-1. A 2-1 result. They'll concede.
AmaZulu Magesi.
AmaZulu would want to bounce back. I'll give them a 1-0 scoreline. 1-0 scoreline. About 2 simabaya phambili, but I'll give them 1-0.
Unpredictable games. Cheesy has given you his predictions. Hope you enjoyed the games over the weekend. Thank you for tuning into Absa Football Friday. It's back to regular programming. If you're at work, enjoy what's left of your day. If you're at home, enjoy what's left of your day too. We'll catch up on the weekend and at the end of the weekend. Cheesy, let the beat do the talking.
Saludas. One love. Thank you so much, Mjara. Sbatanda bonke makaya.